Well, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has suspended charges on cash deposits above 500,000 naira till the 30th of April 2024. Let's remember that in the year 2019, the CBN declared it would begin to levy bank customers making cash deposits and withdrawals as part of its efforts to reduce cash in use. And the CBN also said banks at that time should charge 5% processing fees for withdrawals and 3% processing fees for lodgement of amounts above 3 million naira. However, in its new directive, the CBN has told deposit money banks to accept all cash deposits from the public without any charges going forward, especially at this time where a lot of complaints are coming in about cash not being in circulation. All right, so people have been talking about their experiences in not being able to access cash, even at the banks. And the CBN yesterday came out with a statement to say that there is really no scarcity. It's artificial. And the reason for the seeming cash scarcity is because people, especially banks, are making large volumes of withdrawals. And also bank customers are doing more of withdrawals as against depositing money into the bank.
Yes, I think people are wiser now. Don't forget, the Supreme Court, the Nigerian Supreme Court gave a verdict in February, or thereabout, is it February before the elections, that the cash swap initiative initiated by Emefiele at that time should be stopped. And all currencies, both new and old, should coexist to use for transactions. And the Supreme Court also said that the CBN should revisit the issue in December. Now, I think the CBN has not done enough in terms of telling people that that activity will not come up this December. So they should go ahead, instead of doing this, tell people that, look, we are not embarking on any cash redesign or naira redesign or cash swap, as was suspended by the Supreme Court at that time for the elections, and they let the CBN begin to follow through with the initiative as that with the previous leadership of the CBN rather. So I think what we need to do, what the bank CBN needs to do, they don't need to live in denial. There is scarcity. People are unable to access cash. Perhaps I may not be able to experience that because I really would use cash. I really would want to use cash because I know one thing is that if I have cash, I spend faster than non-cash or something in my, because there are certain things I may not want to buy, but if I have cash, I want to purchase those. So I think at this point, CBN should take a proactive measure to stall any occurrences of naira scarcity. We are in December. Nigeria suffered so much last year about this time. We suffered so much. People had money that couldn't have access to their money. People wanted to buy something for themselves. They couldn't buy it. And the banks connived with the Central Bank of Nigeria to collapse their system, to collapse their technology system. People couldn't transfer money. You can only transfer money when you wait for a particular bank until 1 a.m. in the night. The moment you transfer money 2, 3 a.m., they locked up. And you ask yourself, what is going on? So Nigerians are beginning to stockpile naira. So they are not bringing it out. So they don't want to face what they faced in 2022, 2023. So CBN should begin to embark on sensitization campaign that they are not embarking, they are not reintroducing that cash swap policy now. So that people can have confidence and bring out the money that they.
So you feel like a lot of people are not aware?
They are not aware, including in the village, because when the Supreme Court made that judgment, it was well over everywhere. And remember, I said it on this show in September, when I was on this show in September, that CBN, now Supreme Court has given this judgment. CBN is not doing anything about it in terms of working towards ensuring that that initiative commence early or not commence at all.
Okay, thank you, Chief of Force. Doctor, sir.
Yeah, I think that means where it's coming from. One of the problems we always face in this country is information dissemination. You know, it's easy for you to tell people who are in town, who can use social media, who can go through the television, but those people in the rural areas, they hardly know what they're talking about. Going on? As I know, most of them, if you go to the family meeting, they'll be telling them, look, they have to have money.
Keep money.
Keep money, because that information system within the federal government is not being adhered to. That we always used to stay here, and we have been making joke about it. The National Orientation Agency.
Yes.
These are the time they're supposed to go and tell the people. In fact, there are many ways the rural areas they do disseminate their information. One of them is by town criers. So they can use them, because this is critical. They could use those town criers in the rural areas to tell, look, government is not going to stop the circulation of old notes by December. It's continuing. So that could relax their knives, because like I've also said, people really suffered during the time we are talking about change of currency. Then, most importantly, I have to put it that the rate banks are charging customers is becoming something else. There are charges for your ATM, there are charges for maintenance account, there are charges for electronic transfer. Sometimes you don't even know what the charges are.
Yeah.
And all this small money, you think they are small. They are not. They are entering into people's account. And that singular thing could create a scenario where petty traders who buy little things may decide to keep their money. Because if they take it to the bank, they are going to be charged. How much is their interest? How much is their profit? A profit of 5 naira or 10 naira or 20 naira. Then you now charge that profit out of the man. They feels bad. So people are going back to the old system where your pillow becomes your bank. Because it's better to have it there than put it in the bank and the bank charges you.
It's not better. It's not better.
No, to them. I'm telling you, to them, they are thinking. And let me tell you one thing. In abroad, the bank don't charge you. In fact, if you're on savings, they pay you. But in Nigeria, the bank charge you. And the bank uses your money to do business. Get interest, get this. Part of that interest is not even given to you, but they are still charging you. And that's why I always say that our fiscal and monetary policy in this country has never been tilted towards favoring customers. There's always tilted favoring the bankers. And that's why I've always advocated that whenever you want to give anybody this CBN governor, let him not be a banker. Because they have a cartel whereby they have to protect themselves first. So that's why I'm looking at Cardoso. Maybe he can do something about that. And thank God he started with this 500, 1 million. He started, which is good. Let him go down to the extent that if somebody is transferring 10,000 naira, 5,000 naira, he shouldn't be charged. Those are minor money. These are petty money. Okay. So these are if we can do that, it will really minimize. And people can have confidence. Look, if I put my money in the bank and I want to take my money back, I'm not going to be charged. Because what's the essence of me putting 10,000 naira, and when I want to take my money, it becomes 9,500.
It's very laughable. So, these stories are passed around on social media where if you leave a certain amount of money in your account, don't touch it. After a year, you might just not have any money there anymore because of deductions.
It's gone.
And the most annoying thing. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. The most annoying thing really is that Nigerian bank would actually surcharge you or charge you without you having money and living negative, living negative on your account. I have never seen that in my entire life, and I think I kept saying it that if you want to encourage people, there must be an incentive. There must be an incentive for people to come to onboard people.
Exactly.
If you don't have an incentive, people will not come. I still don't understand our system that you are encouraging people to come to a place of safety and you are putting fire on the same environment that people are supposed to come in. Now, how do I wake up in the morning and I have 500 naira in my account, for instance, and I wake up, a certain bank will charge me 505 naira, the 550 naira, they put minus. He said, what did they charge me for? Electronic money transfer. And I'm asking myself, okay, what about the money that you charge me 26 naira above 10,000 naira that whenever I do, what is that money for? So what about the money that
you take every month?
No, what about the money that you charge me for card maintenance that I don't even use? Because I don't go to ATM anymore. I don't go to POS. I do normal transfer.
Even the money they charge you for your ATM, because they charge you money for your ATM, before they, right from the debit your account.
Yes.
They still charge you.
They charge me every month. 1,000 every month for maintenance. What are you doing that for?
I was hoping that the elections are over. I was hoping that it's no more a propaganda issue. Oh, this change of currency or this holiday is because of election, because of one in particular person. Now, I was thinking that this government can sit down and say, what is really happening? Because it is abnormal. In any country, I've never seen it where you have scarcity of money within 2 years. It is abnormal. That means there's something wrong within your financial system. Because you should be able to know how much is outside in circulation, how much that you're having as a buffer. In case of any emergency, you can release this money. So there's something wrong fundamentally. I don't know why. Probably too. Let me put it this way. Recently, we know that somebody did a birthday, and we learned that over a billion or 100 million was, cash, and some people were giving money. I said somebody.
It didn't even show person's name.
It's not a factual statement.
But it's still on the basis of not naming anybody's name.
Why are we alleging? Let's move on, sir. Move on from there.
What I'm saying that sometimes these politicians, the way they cut money in this December period, some of them are equally going to banks to a mass money because they are going to their villages and they are going to use
That's what
cash.
the CBN said. People are
so that is part of the
yeah.
problem. That's why I'm saying that cash, this thing is more or less. I started from election. Now election is over. Now the pre-election, post-election is what we're having. That the politicians are part of the problem. I'm telling you, some people are. If you go to their district, the whole thing is their bag, and they are all going home to distribute to their constituencies.
All right, yeah, I've heard people actually. Somebody has actually told me personally, they keep money. They say money goes scarce, and I know that that's how that is being passed around.
Yeah.
Okay, so. First of all, they say Nigerians are broke right now, so I don't know where they're getting the money they are stockpiling. First of all, but then second of all, there's no need to panic. Okay, according to the Apex Bank, there's enough money, to run the economy. So people don't necessarily have to be stockpiling cash at home. All right, please let's not create problems for ourselves when we do all this kind of things. Plus, the CBN is warning that there's a lot of fake Naira notes in circulation now, so you have to be careful. Okay, when there's scarcity of cash, then these untoward elements, they capitalize on such opportunities to do their evil. So be watchful out there. All right, don't panic. Things will be okay according to the Central Bank of Nigeria.